Assalamu alaikum students. This is the third lecture of acids, bases and salts. Today we are going to discuss about the strong and weak acids, and afterwards we will also going to be discussed about the strong and weak bases. So first of all, in order to understand the concept of strong and weak acids, we have to understand the strength of acids. We have already understood that term, that what is meant by the strength of an acid. A strength of an acid can be measured by the ability of an acid to donate a proton. We know that the acids, those acids which can donate proton easily, they will be the strong acids, and which cannot donate the proton readily will be the weak acids. Now, there is a very familiar constant that we can use in order to determine that strength of an acid. Its name is ionization constant of acid, and it is denoted by K into subscript A. In order to understand that what is meant by this Ka, let us consider a general ionization reaction in which an acid aqueous solution of acid is being taken and it's going to ionize to form a conjugate acid and base. The equilibrium constant expression can be written like this, as we have already understood that how can we write that equilibrium constant expression, the molar concentration of the product to the molar concentration of the reactant. Now, as we know that the water molecule is taken as a solvent and it's always being in excess, so we can take it on the other side of the equation just like this, and we can make it out or shape it out in terms of Ka, that K into the concentration of water will be equal to Ka. That is the dissociation constant of an acid. It also depends upon the temperature, just was in the previous case when we have learned the concept of Kw. Kw was also a temperature dependent constant, ionization constant of water. Similarly, Ka, this is a dissociation constant or ionization constant of an acid. It also depends upon the temperature. The higher the value of temperature, the greater will be the Ka. Moreover, the higher value of Ka is actually denoting the acid is a stronger acid. So Ka value will be directly proportional to the strength of an acid. And how it is equal to? It is equal to the product of conjugate acid base to, in the denominator will be the molar concentration of the acid. Now we have a very important term, that is the pKa. What is the pKa? Similar to the pH, pKa has the same concept. If we take a negative log of Ka, it becomes equal to pKa. We have already learned that how to take a negative log of any species. Now, what is the reason that we are going to say that pKa is more convenient than Ka? The reason is that pKa has the values that are easy and convenient for us to use in our chemical calculations. Similar was the values of pH. Similarly, the Ka values are in the powers of 10 and they are difficult to deal with. That is why we have used a concept of pKa rather than Ka. So it is more convenient. However, if we compare pKa with Ka, we say that they are inversely proportional to each other. If Ka, higher value of Ka denotes a strong acid, then higher value of pKa denotes a weak acid. So if we want to compare the strengths of acids on the basis of pKa value, we say that the stronger acids will have a less or smaller pKa value. You can see and compare the Ka and pKa values with the strong and weak acids. And you can easily understand that concept, that what I have told you in the previous slide, that you can see here hydroiodic acid, it's a very strong acid, so it will have a least pKa value in the table. Similarly, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen chloride, sulfuric acid, the acidic strength is going to decrease in the downward direction, and you can easily observe the values of pKa, they are also going to increase. But what about the Ka value? Ka value is highest in case of hydroiodic acid, that is the strongest acid, but its pKa value is the least. So you can easily compare the strengths and you can have a look that pKa values are easy to read and understood as compared to Ka values. Similar is the concept with strong and weak bases. If we want to compare the strength of base, we say that a base has the ability to accept a proton according to the Lowry-Bronsted concept. So, a strong base will have a strong ability to accept a proton. It can easily accept a proton. Similarly, a weak base will have a less ability to accept a proton. How can we differentiate between them? We can differentiate with the help of another constant, that is the ionization constant of base Kb, and it can be understood by taking a general base and its aqueous solution is taken over here and it's undergoing a general way ionization. B plus water, it gives out BH positive and hydroxide ion negative. The equilibrium constant expression can also be written for this, and similar procedure will be done for Kb also. We can take water on the other side of the equation, and in this way we can make out of the equation for ionization constant or dissociation constant of a base. Similar was in the case of Ka or ionization constant of acid. The higher the value of Kb, the stronger will be the base. So here Kb value is directly proportional to the base. But we do not use Kb values. Instead of this, we use pKb values, and pKb is defined as the negative logarithm of Kb value. So pKb values are easy to read, convenient to use in our different chemical calculations. So smaller the pKb value means the base is a strong. You can see this concept, compare your concepts, and just strengthen your concepts with the help of this table. You can see over here butylamine, it's having a pKa value pKb value is a least in the table as compared to all other bases. So butylamine will be the strongest base, but its Kb value is the highest as compared to other. Similarly, at the end of the table, aniline is the weakest base, but its Kb value is also least, but its pKb value is highest. So we can easily compare and understand the concept that pKb value varies inversely with the strength of base, but Kb value varies directly with the strength of base. This is all about Kb and pKb. Now, what is the relation between Ka and Kb, ionization constant of acid and base? For this purpose, we have an acid Ha. It's undergoing an ionization, and we can write out the Ka expression for this as we have already written it. Now, Ha is going to giving out a proton and a conjugate base, A negative. Now consider this conjugate base, and we will make a aqueous solution of this conjugate base. It's undergoing ionization in the second step. Just like A negative, it will react with water to form Ha. It will accept a proton because A negative is a conjugate base and water is acting as a acid over here. So it's losing its proton to form a OH negative ion. We can write out the Kb expression for this conjugate base A negative. It would be like Ha concentration multiplied by hydroxide ion concentration divided by the conjugate base concentration. Clear? So we can multiply these equation number 1 and 2. The right hand side is going to be multiplied with the right hand side, and left hand side is going to be multiplied with the left hand side. And out of this, we can cancel out the components that are similar in the numerator and denominator. And after that, we have got an expression out of it, Ka into product of Kb equals to the hydrogen and hydroxide ion concentrations product. That is ultimately going to be equal to Kw. If you remember, we have also made an equation for Kw, ionization constant of water, that was equal to the molar concentration of hydrogen ion into molar concentration of hydroxide ion. So ultimately we can say the product of Ka and Kb is equals to Kw. So an inverse relation exists for Ka and Kw. This is all about today's lecture. If you have any query, you can ask.